All right, the House Intel Committee Chairman, Adam the Cowardly Shifty Schiff. He has been caught in yet another insane lie. Now, it's no secret the Cowardly Schiff is dishonest, deceptive. He is a proven liar, nothing but a political hack and operative. He has been proven to lie over and over and over again. We have offered him time on this program, a full hour. I'll give him a full week and 5 days on my radio show. That's 20 hours of broadcasting. But Schiff's most recent lie, uncovered in a brand new report, believe it or not, although they tried to couch it a lot, still couldn't hide the fact. The New York Times, maybe one of his worst yet. The Times now reporting that the shifty, cowardly Schiff, he got an early account of the so-called whistleblower's accusations. In other words, Representative Adam B. Schiff, California, learned about the so-called whistleblower, who's not a whistleblower, and that whistleblower's so-called concerns before he or she filed a complaint. In fact, Schiff's office spoke directly to the future non-whistleblower and even recommended that the future he or she hire an attorney and meet with the inspector general to file a complaint. His fingerprints all over this. This is not a real whistleblower. Hearsay, oh, I heard it from so-and-so, heard it from so-and-so, heard it from so-and-so. Yeah, that would not be admissible in a court of law, but apparently not in the court of corrupt Democrats who spread lies and conspiracy theories and one hoax after another. They barely miss a beat, hoax to hoax to hoax. And the sleazebag, the Cowardly Schiff himself, was behind this, quote, nonpartisan, totally legitimate whistleblower complaint from the very beginning. This can't possibly be the same Cowardly Schiff who was from California, who actually went on conspiracy television, Area 51, Roswell Rachel's network, MSDNC, on September the 17th and claimed, quote, "We have not spoken directly to the whistleblower." A lie. Take a look.
We have not spoken directly with the whistleblower. We would like to, but I'm sure the whistleblower has concerns that he has not been advised, as the law requires, by the Inspector General or the Director of National Intelligence, just as to how he is to communicate with Congress.
Lying through his teeth, caught yet again. And the Cowardly Schiff, the shifty Schiff, well, was practically holding the whistle on the non-whistleblower. Keep in mind, that guy, the same con artist who's now leading the Democrats' idiotic impeachment inquiry, which is totally based on the whistleblower complaint that the shifty Schiff himself had a hand in creating, clearly, and offering advice to. This is why Americans hate the swamp known as Washington, D.C. The leaking, the lying, the scheming, the undermining, the character assassination, all of it from Schiff, a disgusting abuse of power. By the way, he now needs to be investigated. He must be held accountable. We're calling tonight for an independent ethics investigation into the office of the cowardly Adam Schiff. He must immediately now recuse himself from any impeachment inquiry, and it is time that this liar go under oath about his involvement in this phony whistleblower report. Every American who voted, you got to understand what this is about. If you voted for Donald Trump, you're a smelly Walmart shopper like me. I think it's smart to shop at Walmart. I like Walmart. You save money. And you're an irredeemable, deplorable, and you're a bitter American that clings to their God, Bible, religion, Second Amendment rights. You need to understand tonight that corrupt congressman is willing to do almost anything to remove a duly elected president, the president you voted for. His deranged lying, his conspiracy theories, spreading his hoax are now catching up to him. He is not fit to serve in Congress at all, let alone the chairman of this committee. And sadly, what we are seeing here is nothing new. It's the same Schiff, different day. Play on words. As Congressman Jordan pointed out, this fits his pattern. Schiff seems to have a hand in virtually every conspiratorial anti-Trump smear brought before Congress. For example, summer of 2018, there was the shifty Schiff, the cowardly Schiff, a secret meeting with Fusion GPS founder Glenn Simpson, you know, the guy that Robert Mueller had never heard of. At the same time, Simpson, whose firm was behind Hillary's dirty dossier, was, of course, an important witness in his committee's investigation into alleged Russia collusion that's been debunked now 4 times. And Schiff's team, remember, they prepped Michael Cohen for 10 hours just before his testimony before his committee on Capitol Hill. Wow. And now it appears the cowardly Shifty Schiff played a vital role in coordinating the secondhand whistleblower complaint. Whether it involves Russia, Ukraine, or, I don't know, maybe it'll be the Bahamas impeachment inquiry next. Seems that the cowardly Schiff has been plotting the president's destruction, undermining your vote, lying in the process from the second the president was elected by you, we, the American people. The only problem with his strategy was always built on a pack of lies. Remember, this is the guy who actually fabricated a transcript. Remember, he's the guy you didn't know he was being, well, pranked, and he thought he was talking to a real Russian about dirt on Donald Trump that he could use during an election. And by the way, it was read out loud in an official committee hearing. You know, remember, what's the dirt on Donald Trump? Naked pictures of Trump. Naked. Does Vladimir know? Oh, my gosh. Anyway, take a look.
There is already, in my view, ample evidence in the public domain on the issue of collusion, if you're willing to see it. If you want to blind yourself, then you can look the other way.
I can certainly say with confidence that there is significant evidence of collusion between the campaign and Russia.
I've been very clear over the last year and a half, that there is ample evidence of collusion in plain sight.
4 separate investigations. There was no evidence of anything. Lie after lie after lie after lie. Is this good for the country? Now, keep in mind, it was actually the cowardly Schiff caught on tape colluding with Russia. Yeah. Does Vladimir see it? But of course, Vladimir sees naked pictures of Trump. Remember, he was trying to get the naked pictures of Trump. He was being pranked. In other words, doing what he's accusing Trump of. But I thought Democrats were really worried about foreign election interference. I guess that only involves fictional claims against President Trump, not the dirty dossier, because if they really cared about collusion or interference, where is, well, the cowardly Schiff's hysteria over Hillary Clinton's dirty Russian dossier, as the New York Times finally concluded, likely Russian misinformation, disinformation from the start. Where's the hysteria over the DNC's collusion with Ukraine? After all, according to 2017 Politico, look at this. DNC operative pressed the Ukrainian embassy to dig up dirt on Donald Trump for Hillary during the 2016 election. And there's more. Look at the same Politico report. Ukrainian government officials tried to help Hillary Clinton and undermine Trump by publicly questioning his fitness for office. They also disseminated documents implicating a top Trump aide in corruption and suggested they were investigating the matter only to back away after the election. They picked the wrong horse. And they helped Hillary Clinton's allies research damaging information on Trump and his advisors. It's that simple. That would be foreign election interference. But according to a report from the Wall Street Journal, well, we do have 2 Republican senators, not Democrats, who are demanding answers into, quote, the brazen efforts by the Democratic National Committee and Hillary Clinton and her campaign to use the government of Ukraine for the express purpose of finding negative information on then-candidate Trump in order to undermine his campaign. That would be the exact thing they claim Trump did now twice. The hypocrisy is sick. It is frankly destructive and psychotic at this point. You got the speaker in name only, Pelosi. You got the cowardly Shifty Schiff. Their pals in the media mob ignoring all the real evidence of real collusion. They're putting their agenda ahead of what is truthful, honest, and what the American people should know. Real interference, real government abuse of power, the real weaponization of America's intelligence system. Oh, yeah, and then FISA fraud and spying on a campaign and a transition team and a president. 3 long years hyperventilating, telling us they have the truth, one hoax after another, one lie after another, one conspiracy after another. Russia, Russia, Russia. Now it's Ukraine, Ukraine, Ukraine. Let's take a look.
The president himself called on the Russians to assist his campaign by hacking Hillary Clinton's emails.
Was using that office as leverage to obtain dirt, to have another country manufacture dirt on his opponent.
We believe that the President of the United States is engaged in a cover-up. I think right now there's a cover-up of the cover-up.
The Russians offered help. The campaign accepted help. The Russians gave help, and the president made full use of that help.
I don't think we can rely on a country that is so beholden to the good graces of Donald Trump to be able to level with us on this.
No one is above the law, especially the President of the United States. The President believes that he is above the law being the Constitution of the United States.
There is already, in my view, ample evidence in the public domain on the issue of collusion, if you're willing to see it. It is very powerful evidence of that kind of potential impeachable offense.
See a pattern? It would almost be funny if they weren't trying to circumvent the will of you, the American people, and literally remove a duly elected president from office who's doing an amazing job under the worst circumstances. And smearing the president has been their #1 goal from the very beginning. And by the way, they don't care about improving the lives of Americans in spite of their lofty, cliched language from earlier today. As the president tweeted, the do-nothing Democrats should be focused on building up our country, not wasting everyone's time and energy on BS, which is what they have been doing ever since I got overwhelmingly elected in 2016, 223 to 306. Get a better candidate this time. You'll need it. By the way, guys, we have an election in a year. You think your ideas are superior? You think your record is better? Okay, let's have it out in the ring. It's called an election. Let the American people decide for once, and maybe you guys can just put your best candidate forward who wants to spend $94 trillion and eliminate gas, oil, energy, the combustion engine, planes, and cows. Run on that $94 trillion idiocy and eliminating private insurance. Good luck with that. President continue to fight back against those who want to take him down. Watch this.
We don't call him Shifty Schiff for nothing. He's a shifty, dishonest guy who, by the way, was critical of one of the great Secretary of States, graduated #1 in his class at West Point, graduated one of the top in his class at Harvard Law School, the most honorable person, Mike Pompeo. And this guy was negative on Mike Pompeo. He can't, there's an expression, he couldn't carry his blank strap. I won't say it because they'll say it was so terrible to say. But that guy couldn't carry his blank strap. Do you understand that? So you're dealing with bad people. And I watched China over the last few days, and I watched some of these other countries build up, build up, build up. And we built up more than any of them because of me. But no help due to the Democrats. They're a disaster. They're the do-nothing Democrats. They don't do any work. All they want to do is try and win the election in 2020. So they come up with this impeachment nonsense, and everyone knows. The conversation, all based on one phone call that I had, where I'm talking to the president of Ukraine. You'll hear from our ambassadors. You'll hear from some of the folks that know all about the call, why the call was set up, and everything else. It's perfect. The call was perfect. Nancy Pelosi and Shifty Schiff, who should resign in disgrace, by the way, and Jerry Nadler and all of them. It's a disgrace what's going on. And we should be focused on making America great again and keeping America great. Because what they did with this nonsense, think of it. You have a perfect conversation with a president of another country, Ukraine in this case. And they try and say, oh, let's impeach him. They've been trying to impeach me from the day I got elected. I've been going through this for 3 years. They've been trying to impeach me from the day I got elected. And you know what? They failed. And this is the easiest one of all, because this one is based on one conversation. What about Obama's conversation with the president of Russia, where he says, hey, tell Vlad I'll talk to him after the election's over. I'll talk to him. Nobody reports that, right? That's stuff you should report. But you people should be ashamed of yourself. We have the most dishonest media that you can imagine, and you should be ashamed of yourself. But here's what happened. The whistleblower was wrong. The only thing that matters is the transcript of the actual conversation that I had with the president of Ukraine. It was perfect. We're looking at congratulations. We're looking at doing things together. And what are we looking at? We're looking at corruption. And in, I believe, 1999, there was a corruption act or a corruption bill passed between both and signed between both countries, where I have a duty to report corruption. And let me tell you something. Biden's son is corrupt, and Biden is corrupt. And I'd rather run against Biden than almost any of those candidates, and I think they're all weak. But I think Biden has never been a smart guy, and he's less smart now than he ever was. Thank you very much.
And the president's supposed to faithfully execute the laws of the land, and that would be election interference that those people used to care about. The president also had pointed words for the lying, corrupt media mob, and I call them a mob for a reason, because they are. Take a look.
Look, Biden and his son are stone cold crooked, and you know it. His son walks out with millions of dollars. The kid knows nothing. You know it, and so do we. Go ahead, ask a question.
But the question, sir, was what did you want President Zelensky to do about Vice President Biden and his son Hunter?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, it was just a follow-up of what I just asked you, sir.
Listen, you ready? We have the president of Finland. Ask him a question.
I have one for him. I just wanted to follow up on the one that I asked you, which
did
was,
you hear
what
me?
did you want
Did you
him
hear
to
me?
Yes,
ask
sir.
him a question.
I will, but
I've given you a long answer. Ask this gentleman a question. Don't be rude.
No, sir, I don't want to be rude. I just wanted you to have a chance to answer the question that I asked you.
I've answered everything. It's a whole hoax. And you know who's playing into the hoax? People like you and the fake news media that we have in this country. And I say in many cases, the corrupt media, because you're corrupt. Much of the media in this country is not just fake, it's corrupt.
Corrupt, lies, smearing, besmirching, false allegations, wasting taxpayer money and time, conspiracy theories, lies, hoaxes. By the way, the media mob, you may want to pay attention. The president's going to win on this, and you're going to help him. The president just raised a whopping $125 million in the third quarter. New poll has the president's approval rating, climbing to a year-long high. And by the way, the mob might not like it, but under Article 2, Section 3 of the United States Constitution, the president has a sworn duty to, quote, take care that the laws be faithfully executed. That would mean investigating election interference like the Hillary campaign did by paying for a dirty Russian dossier and like what has been going on in Ukraine. That's right, the weaponization of the intelligence community. Oh, and using an unverified phony dossier to get a FISA application warrant 4 times.